From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Friday, February 21st. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
This is Christina Hall with the Detroit Free Press. Communities in a suburban Detroit county could be allowed to opt out of joint endeavors their county government might try to establish, especially regional transit. That's if the state legislature allows it. Lawmakers from Oakland County introduced bills this week in the State House and Senate that would affect cities, townships, and villages in Oakland County. Their bills are in response to calls by the county executive, the Detroit mayor, and other regional leaders to raise property taxes for regional transit by trying to amend a state act. A tax proposal to fund regional transit died in 2016, but efforts to get a new plan and tax proposal before voters is continuing. The Oakland County executive says the state lawmakers are reacting to a plan that doesn't exist yet. He says there also may be unintended consequences for other uses beyond transit under the state act if the proposed bills pass.
This is Brian Manzullo, craft beer writer for the Detroit Free Press. Ferndale has a new brew pub. Ferndale Project, owned by Eastern Market Brewing Company, will begin slinging beer Saturday from its Livernois location between 8 and 9 Mile Roads. It spent the past few weeks serving coffee, pastries, and lunch for residents as a way of building a relationship with the community. Ferndale Project replaces a former Axel Brewing Company Livernois tap, which closed last summer. Craft beer drinkers can expect a dozen-plus beers in a variety of styles at Ferndale Project, from hop-forward IPAs to experimental sours, as well as a handful of ciders. The philosophy is for every beer to be approachable and drinkable for folks from all walks of life. The food menu will rotate and feature plenty of vegan-friendly options. Read more about Ferndale Project at freep.com.
I'm Brendelle Hightower for the Detroit Free Press Entertainment Team. Detroit native Clayton Thomas, known as CT, is coming to town to perform with superstar and comedian Martin Lawrence this Saturday at Little Caesars Arena for the Lit AF Tour. Head to Google if you really need to know what that stands for. Thomas, an Oak Park High School graduate, had dreams of becoming a comedian after sneaking to watch Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy Jam as a kid. He says that his 10-year goal was so different than most kids who inspired to be doctors and lawyers. CT went after his dream and now lives in Los Angeles, California, where he is now on the TV screen where he served as writer and actor on Bounce TV's hit sitcom Family Time for 8 seasons. He's appeared on Modern Family, Superior Donuts, Insecure, and Uncle Buck. He's a comedian on HBO's All Def Comedy. He's working on his own TV show, does podcasts, tours, and he's shooting other projects. When in town, Thomas visits local spots like Baker's Keyboard Lounge and his high school to talk with students to hopefully impact them and tell them how great their teachers are because they literally changed his life. For the complete story, visit freep.com.
This is Detroit Free Press auto critic Mark Phelan reporting. Kia just followed up on its award-winning Telluride SUV with the smaller, more affordable Seltos. Prices start around $22,000 and top out just under $29,000. The Seltos is one of the new generation of small SUVs intended to replace compact and mid-size sedans. It seats 5 and competes with vehicles like the Ford EcoSport and Honda HR-V. It's a bit bigger, with plenty of passenger space and good cargo room. The interior even features an optional 10.25-inch touchscreen, something you don't often see at these prices. The Seltos' optional all-wheel drive system should be handy in snow. Performance with the optional turbocharged engine is perfectly acceptable.
This is Free Press sports writer Marlo Alter. 1 week into his new job as Michigan State's football coach, Mel Tucker is remaking the coaching staff. Tucker has now filled 6 of 10 full-time assistant spots, and his most recent addition is a familiar name. Harlan Barnett, the former All-American safety, is returning to his alma mater to coach the secondary. Barnett spent the past 2 seasons as Florida State's defensive coordinator following 11 years at MSU working under Mark D'Antonio. "I've known Harlan Barnett for more than 20 years," Tucker tweeted, pumped to have him back. Barnett, who is popular among players, rejoins holdovers Mike Tressel and Ron Burton. Barnett and Tressel were co-defensive coordinators at MSU from 2015 to 2017. And on the other side of the ball, Tucker announced Jay Johnson as an offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Tucker called Johnson an aggressive and innovative play caller who emphasizes physicality and runs a diverse offense. Johnson becomes the second Colorado assistant to join Tucker at MSU, along with O-line coach and running game coordinator Chris Kapilovic. Tucker previously added longtime Flint Beecher head coach and former Spartan Courtney Hawkins as the wide receivers coach. And in more good news Thursday, running back Connor Hayward announced he would be removing his name from the transfer portal and returning to MSU. Hayward played 4 games last season for the Spartans before leaving the program, but will be considered a redshirt junior in 2020 with 2 years of eligibility remaining.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. And sign up for the Daily Briefing newsletter. See you on Monday.